Third place is on the line this afternoon. It's the Mohawk Valley Hawks and the Anoka Golden Rams, and both these teams losers in the semifinals. But the Mohawk Valley Hawks get a chance to defend themselves on their home court. It's next on NJCAA TV. From the Jurgensen Center on the campus of Mohawk Valley Community College, this is NJCAA Championship Basketball on NJCAA TV. Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz. Steve, we got a great matchup today. Couple of teams that almost made it to the finals. The Mohawk Valley Hawks, not a good performance yesterday. They lost by double digits, but they have a chance to avenge themselves on their home floor.
Yeah, and I'm sure, playing at home, they're going to want to have a good outing today. Biggest thing, I think, will be finding some energy. You're playing in that third-place game. I mean, both teams would have loved to have been in the championship game, but obviously that didn't happen. So trying to find that energy tonight will be important.
Big note for the Mohawk Valley Hawks. Cheyenne Clark came into this tournament averaging 18.9 points a game and 18.2 rebounds. She is out. She hurt her foot last night. Yes, during the game, we missed it. We just got note of it about an hour ago. She will not play today. That's a big loss. She's headed to Stony Brook next year to play Division I.
Well, she's a great player, so that's going to be a big loss for them. And there's going to be some other players who have to step up tonight and fill that void.
Yeah, look for Lyric Flythe and Deona Rogers, who stepped up and had a decent game. She had 18 points yesterday to step in and try to fill that void. Third place is on the line here from Mohawk Valley Community College. On the other side of things, you look at this Anoka Golden Rams team. They have a lot of players that can score. Rashana Thomas, 22.2 points a game. She had 15 points yesterday, and she's another person that can really scavenge the floor and hit the ball and hit the three-point ball from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's going to be really interesting is I only saw 8 girls dress for them tonight. And so we'll see if that plays into a factor. I know MV typically likes to play up-tempo, and we'll see if they can get into the bench, which is going to be a thin one.
And that's something we've kind of seen throughout this tournament. A lot of these teams only playing with 9-10 bodies, not a lot of room to make subs, make switches. That's something to keep note. We'll keep our eye on that. Again, it's Division III NJCAA Championship Basketball. Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz. We'll be back with opening tip-off right here on NJCAA TV. We're just moments away from the opening tip-off here on NJCAA TV. Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz. And fans, you can follow all the action of the 2017 NJCAA Men's and Women's Basketball Championships live on NJCAA TV. Go to www.njcaatv.com to view live and archive video of each game. NJCAA TV is now also available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Roku streaming platforms. NJCAA TV, the official digital network of the NJCAA. So we're just moments away from tip-off, about a minute or so, and both these teams playing for third place here. And followed by this game, we'll have our championship game between Roxbury and Rock Valley. That'll be a great one coming up at 7 p.m. But first, final game before that, we try to mix the seedings and settle the seedings in here. It's the third place matchup.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And, like we said, the energy is going to be important to find, because both teams would love to be playing in the championship game. However, it's the last game of the year for both teams. So, best way to finish that is with a W if you can. And,
Steve, you coached a long time. What's the mindset here playing for third place? You're at a championship contention, but like you said, it's still the final game of the season.
Well, something from an athletic standpoint, from the athletes, once the ball gets tipped, they're going to be ready to compete. They may not have the same focus prior, but once the game gets started, you've been through a long season, 4 months, 5 months with your teammates. You're going to want to finish on a high note with a W if you could. And I think once the game gets going and that adrenaline gets going, the competitive spirits in both teams, we're going to see.
And we talked about it, the fact these sophomores, for pretty much a lot of them, if not all of them, their final games here playing for their respective teams. We talked about Cheyenne Clark. She played her final game for Mohawk Valley yesterday, and she's off to play Division I at Stony Brook next year on Long Island. So, as we're just moments away from tip-off, again, Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz for our final consolation game. We're looking for third place. Who will finish in third place in this tournament? It's the NJCAA National Championship for Division III women's basketball. And you're watching it on NJCAA TV. The starting lineups are being announced onto the floor. And again, the big question is for Mohawk Valley, who will fill the shoes of Cheyenne Clark? They have a few players to step in, but even so, Steve, you mentioned a short roster. Now it gets even shorter without Clark.
Yeah, definitely. And she's your leader. You're playing in, a huge game, obviously. One of the final four teams in the country playing at this level, and, you're going to have to do it without your best player. So that's going to be a challenge.
How big is home court advantage when you're in a tournament like this for teams like Anoka, Ramsey, and all the other teams in this tournament? It's neutral ground. But for Mohawk Valley, they've played here all year on their home court.
Well, not only that, but they got to sleep in their own beds.
Right.
There's a lot of travel that goes involved. These girls have been, obviously in the comforts of their own, if it's apartments or dorms or wherever they may be living, but it's a comfort zone for them. There hasn't been any distractions or interruptions of that type of thing. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously the basket's 10 feet high. The ball's got to go in it, so we'll see.
As the starting lineups have been announced, the teams are on the floor. We are moments away from opening tip-off, 10 minutes on the clock, as the first quarter is just about set to begin here from the Jurgensen Center on the campus of Mohawk Valley Community College. And Gianna Locker is getting the start for Mohawk Valley. We didn't see her start yesterday. As again, a little bit of a lineup change for Coach James Carpenter in his 8th year as the head man of the Hawks. He was the District A Coach of the Year in 2011, 13, and 16. As the opening tip-off will be Daria Lipsome for the Golden Rams and Khadija Jones, and it's controlled early on here by Anoka Ramsey.
MV starts off with a good little 2-3, a little bit of a matchup here.
That's Lindsay in the right wing. Lindsay back to Clark at the top of the key. That's Thomas for 3. Off the mark. Rebound going the other way by Rogers. 3-point attempt by Locker, no good. Loose rebound. And it's picked up by Clark, pushing the floor the other way.
A quick shot by MV there.
Lipscomb at the top of the key. Thomas a long 3. Off the mark. She's 0 for 2 so far in the first minute of this game as it goes out of bounds, and it'll be Mohawk Valley ball.
It's interesting. I thought maybe both teams would try to go inside right away, see if they could establish some control inside, but both teams are letting it fly from the arc right now. A 2-3 zone this time.
Settling it inside for Wilson. Now back to Locker for 3, and she drains it from the near corner. Gianna Locker for our first points of this Third place game. Quickly pushing it on the floor. That's Lipscomb inside. Facing the double team, puts it up. That's Khadijah Jones on the block, but a wild pass. As it's controlled by Clark.
Good look to go in transition. Just misled her a little bit.
Lindsay to Correll. Correll hits the three, and she had 22 points yesterday, and she gets a scoring started with a three-pointer of her own.
Good look. Good offense inside out.
Bria Wilson controlling it. Back to Locker. Locker, the pump fake. Again inside to Wilson. That's Rogers inside.
Yeah,
they say she traveled, took one too many steps. Turnover, first one of the day.
Not a bad look, though. You know, good baseline pass.
Three game, just about 2 minutes in to this third place game. Both these teams, it's their final game of the season. You're watching it here on NJCAA TV. Lindsay at the top of the key facing a double team. Tries to get the pass going, but it's intercepted by China Wilson going the other way.
Good anticipation of that pass right there.
Wilson settles it back to the top of the key for Jones. Jones, the floater with the left hand, no good, and the foul is called, and they get Jones on the over the back. And we'll see a sub here as Lindsay will take a seat, and Megan McKiernan will come into the game.
Hand check.
Yeah, a little too aggressive on the hand check there by Locker. Foul called. Her first of the game, team second, and the inbounds will happen right in front of us by McKiernan.
MVCC in a little 1-2-2 defense this time. With man-to-man principles, though.
Left corner. Now inside for Correll. She can't connect. And it's going the other way for Jones as she pushes the floor. Jones, the pass to Wilson. Back to Locker. To Wilson. She had her foot on the line. It's a two-pointer. Air mails it. Rebound to Noka Ramsey. Processia Clark kicks it out to Thomas. Far corner shot, no good. Goes out of bounds, and it'll be Hawks ball with 6:54 to go in the opening quarter.
Nice block out by Tiffany Jackson there.
Tiffany Jackson, probably one of the players going to get a lot more minutes today with Cheyenne Clark not available for Mohawk Valley. To the top of the key, almost tipped away, but controlled by Bria Wilson. A long three from the right wing by Locker, no good. Rebound, Jones puts it up and lands it in. It's a 5-3 game. Quickly coming the other way. Processia Clark, the floater from the free throw line, and gets it to fall.
Good body control, little jump stop and foul line.
Just over 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 5-5 game between these two teams battling for third place in this tournament. That's Tiffany Jackson, the short jumper. Goes off the back iron, no good.
And got a double dribble there.
And a double dribble called. And coming into the game is Deonna Rogers for Mohawk Valley as Tiffany Jackson will take a seat.
Mohawk Valley's done a nice job early on in this quarter of getting the ball inside. Got to finish some of those shots, though.
Locker with the inbounds. To Jones. Jones thought about a pass. Will pull up for three. No good. And fighting for the rebound was Rogers, and she's fouled. And they get Lipscomb on the foul. Rogers gets set to inbound it underneath the Noka Ramsey basket.
Noka Ramsey going man-to-man out of the out-of-bounds play.
That's to Rogers in the corner. Swings it to Locker at the top of the key. Back to Locker, and not awareness of the boundaries as her back foot was out of bounds in a costly turnover early on in this game.
Yeah, both teams a little bit sluggish right now. Typical of maybe like what you would see in a unfortunately consolation type game.
Leah Sath fresh into the game, puts it up. Dribbles it out. Loose ball. Controlled by Anoka Ramsey. Sath to Lipscomb. To Carell, who fires a three, and she's got it. She's got 6 points. 2 3-pointers. 6 of the first 8 points for Anoka Ramsey.
Yeah, she's got a quick release.
It was China Wilson trying to drive the baseline.
That's another turnover for MV.
Yeah, I think she dribbled it off her foot, goes out of bounds. Anoka Ramsey ball. I'll bring Tiffany Jackson back in, and China Wilson, who committed that turnover, will take a seat.
Coach Carpenter substituting pretty freely here in the first quarter.
That's Lipscomb. She puts up the runner, and she gets it to fall off the glass. Nice job by Lipscomb.
That's the beneficiary of some good outside shooting early as the defense has to stretch out a little bit.
10-5 game, Anoka Ramsey up early on here in this one, first quarter, 4:53 to go. Driving the baseline is Jones. No good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up. No good. Loose ball, and it's picked up going the other way by McKiernan.
2 good looks by MV.
And an errant pass, and it goes out of bounds, and a turnover for Anoka Ramsey. And we kind of seen that. I know you didn't see the other games, but we kind of saw that a lot yesterday. Some errant passes by these consolation teams, just not able to get some clean passes going and costly turnovers.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you can't rebound a turnover. At least get shots up on the glass.
4:34 to go in the first quarter. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV.
You tired of watching your favorite NJCAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the NJCAA and Blue Frame Technology.
$10-5 early on here in the first quarter. Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz. 4:34 to go. And Spalding is proud to be the official basketball of the National Junior College Athletic Associations. Spalding's TF1000 Legacy Ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA basketball championships, and the NJCAA thanks Spalding for their continued support. Spalding, true to the game. As we get set for an inbounds after the timeout. A lot of time to go here in the first quarter. Both these teams looking for third place, as our championship game between Roxbury and Rock Valley will follow this one at 7 p.m. That's Bria Wilson. Wilson looking for an outlet pass. It's Locker, a deep three off the mark. Rogers grabs the rebound.
Well, Valley's done a pretty nice job of offense and rebounding early in the quarter. I'm sure Coach Carpenter would like to see makes, though.
That's McDaniel fresh into the game. Didn't see much of her yesterday till the fourth quarter. But she's in early on here with the short bench for Mohawk Valley. That one for Rogers inside. She kicks it out. And a missed three-pointer by Wilson. Goes off the back and out of bounds.
Again, pretty good look. Just can't get him to fall right now. And again, I think by establishing the ball inside, throwing it inside to the post and then kicking it out, you're going to get some good looks that way. But they just haven't been able to knock them down yet. And
when you're not able to knock down your threes, do you keep going at it, or eventually do you change it up a little bit?
Good shooters have a shooter's mentality, and they should shoot the next shot like it's their first shot. But unfortunately, sometimes teams fall in love with the three.
Three-point attempt by Corell, looking for her third three-pointer off the mark. And Bria Wilson's got control. She finds McDaniel. Swings it back out to Locker. Locker driving inside. Puts it to Rogers. Loose ball. Trying to be controlled by Cressetia Clark. She loses it, so after all that, Mohawk Valley holds on to it.
Tough to dribble a loose ball. You want to try to secure that with two hands if you can. I think if MV probably needs to go inside. They do have some size advantage right now. And with a short bench for Anoka Ramsey, I think I would try to go inside and see if you can maybe pick up a couple of cheap ones there.
That's Locker. Thought about a pass. She'll pull up for 3 from the right wing. No good.
Again, chasing down a 50-50 ball.
But they keep it alive. Put back up by Jackson. No good. And a foul is called on the floor. And they'll get McKiernan for the foul. And he'll stay with Mohawk Valley.
Again, they're doing a nice job on the offensive glass. But they haven't amounted to points, though.
Rogers inside.
Good pass.
Flipping it up for Jackson, who was cutting from behind. She puts it in. It's a 10-7 game. 3 by Thomas, no good. Bria Wilson grabs the rebound.
Again, nobody there to rebound that for Anoka Ramsey there. That was a quick shot. Nice, another nice look.
Wilson looking for Jackson, goes out of bounds as we have some subs. Lipscomb comes back in. We'll see Megan Nelson come into the game for Anoka Ramsey. Khadijah Jones and China Wilson are back in for the Hawks.
Oh, nice ducking right there.
Gets it into Locker. Locker trying to find Jones, but it's intercepted going the other way by Thomas. She drives her way into the paint. Put it up with the right hand, no good. Goes out of bounds. And the possession arrow will stay with Anoka Ramsey. 2:22 to go here in the first quarter. 10-7. It's the Golden Rams over the Mohawk Valley Hawks. Inbound to Lipscomb. She finds Nelson. Nelson to Lindsay for 3. And the rebound is corralled, going the other way by Rogers.
Yeah, kind of a dangerous play, a dangerous tap back.
Jones there thought about a shot.
MV's got a pretty large, big lineup in right now. See if they can take advantage of this.
Driving inside is Jones, and she's fouled.
Good aggressive take, though.
And they nick Turman on the foul. That's Jackson who puts it up off the inbounds and gets it to go.
Nice soft touch, a little turnaround jump shot.
And right there, Amanda Lindsay on the charge. And we saw a lot of charges called yesterday. Haven't seen many today, but there's a charge right there.
Yeah, and I mean, she did a pretty nice job of selling it as well, you know, but that's what you got to do sometimes. You know, the charge block call is such a tough one to make anyway, and the more you can sell it, sometimes that's what it takes.
Jones controlling it at the top of the key.
Anoka Ramsey going back to a 2-3 again.
Rogers. Back to Wilson, who fires up a 3. No good, and the rebound's grabbed by Lipscomb.
Yeah, they've been very cold from the arc.
That'll be Termon to bring it up court. Jumper by McKiernan is blocked. Nice block there by Khadijah Jones.
Yeah, that was a quick closeout right there. She did a nice job. Stayed under control with her body as well.
There'll be Termon on the inbounds. Just over a minute to go. McKiernan drives her way inside, up with the right hand.
Good move, everything but the finish.
And it'll go the other way. Khadijah Jones. Back to Rogers. Rogers, the mid-range jumper, off the mark.
MV staff yelling for a double dribble on that play.
And no foot call as McKiernan puts up the shot, and Jones grabs the rebound. Pushing the floor the other way. Fights her way into the paint.
That's a nice move.
Reverse lay-in, and she does it beautifully.
Little Euro step there.
Euro step by Khadijah Jones puts it in. We have an 11-10 game, and we have a Hawk down. As that's Deonna Rogers. Maybe got tangled up there on the lay-in. Looks like maybe an ankle injury.
Yeah, that's what she's holding right now. Hopefully it's not serious. And for Anoka Ramsey, they had a couple girls looked a little gassed coming back on defensive transition. This timeout, I'm sure, serves them well.
And we'll just get another look at that replay here to see what happened. And you could see... Oh, she just rolled her ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deonna Rogers just kind of stepped the wrong way, rolled her ankle.
Oh, those make me cringe just watching them.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
No, definitely. Definitely not.
We'll take a break, step aside. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Back here, Deonna Rogers just getting up and with help coming off the court. So
It doesn't look like she can put too much weight on that right now.
yeah, and they're already down Cheyenne Clark, their leading scorer, leading rebounder. And Rogers had 18 points in the semifinal game. So that's a tough loss if she can't come back, already down. And Lyric Flythe will come into the game and check in for Rogers.
And MV was doing a nice job inside and hitting the glass, and they'll lose that without her. They're on a 6-0 run right now, though. And be a little bit more aggressive man-to-man right now.
That's Carell finding Saf. Saf gives it back to Terman. That's Carell, the pull-up jumper. No good. Grabbing the rebound and keeping it alive for Anoka Ramsey is Lipscomb.
That's a great two-handed rebound right there.
Inside for Lipscomb. One-on-one against Flythe. Puts it up. No good, and Bria Wilson's got it going the other way. And at the buzzer, Wilson throws it up. Almost had it. No good, as that ends the first quarter here. 11-10 the score. It's the Mohawk Valley Hawks over Anoka Ramsey. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Second quarter about to get underway here from Mohawk Valley Community College. 11-10 the score, 10 minutes to go. As the clock resets, we're ready for the second quarter.
MV will start with the possession. They closed out that quarter pretty well with a 6-0 run. A little bit more energy on defense as well.
Again, Deonna Rogers rolled her ankle towards the end of that first quarter. Ashley Quiles will inbound it, her first appearance of today's game. McDaniel's also in. That's McDaniel at the top of the key.
Anoka Ramsey starts the quarter off in man-to-man.
McDaniel kicks it out to Wilson. To Bria Wilson, and a little too quick there. She's called for the travel.
Yeah, just picked up a pivot foot.
Terman hands it off to Thomas. Thomas, the long two-pointer, and gets it to fall.
Nice job. Good patience. Got her feet set.
Khadijah Jones driving into the paint, puts up the floater. And the response by Khadijah Jones. It's a 13-12 game.
Yeah, Winoka Ramsey, someone that's got to step up and stop the ball there.
Thomas to Terman. Tried to get it to Lipscomb, who couldn't get a hold on it, and Thomas keeps it alive. Flings it out to Carell. Carell, the left side three, and gets it to drain.
Nice ball reversal right there.
Alyssa Carell. 15-13 the score, Anoka Ramsey over Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, she's got three threes so far. She's got a quick release.
McDaniel thought about a shot, finds Wilson. Inside for Jones. Jones flings it up with the left hand and's got it. Khadijah Jones.
Nice little runner.
She's got the last 4 Mohawk Valley points.
Winoka Ramsey not really guarding the MV post players away from the basket. Really sagging there. Good crossover.
Crossover move, and Terman's able to draw the foul, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, nice crossover move. Good change of direction. Good acceleration after the move, too.
Terman will shoot 2 shots. Try to give Anoka Ramsey the 1-point edge here. And she does. 16-15 to score. 8:15 to go in the first half, and McDaniel will take a seat as Tiffany Jackson will come into the game. It's the only sub after that first free throw attempt. Second one's good. Now we'll see Megan Nelson into the game. She'll step in for Leah Sath.
Anoka Ramsey shuffling their 3 available players quite regularly right now. And a little back to 2-3. They've switched defenses quite a bit in this game as well. Not really contesting the 3.
Not at all, and China Wilson in the corner.
Doesn't really want to shoot it either.
Yeah, she thought about it, but she'll kick it back and tried to get it inside for Jones, and it's a takeaway for Terman. Spins it around the back, drives her way into the paint, no good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, and draws the foul.
Coach Carpenter not too happy with the defensive transition right there.
Yeah, even on the offensive end, it looked like Mohawk Valley was a little confused and resulted in a turnover.
Yeah, and they're really sagging in on that 2-3 on that last possession.
First one rings out. Walker coming back into the game. Along with Lyric Flythe, Tiffany Jackson and China Wilson will take a seat for the Hawks.
And unfortunately for MV, that the inability to make the 3s early in this game has kind of allowed Anoka Ramsey to lay off them, to kind of challenge them to shoot it more. Sometimes a tougher shot to make when you're wide open.
Right. That one's good. 18-15 game. 7:40 to go here in the first half. Top of the key for Wilson. Wilson fires it in for Quiles. Settles it back to the top of the key for Wilson, who will fire a 3. And she drains it from the top of the key. Bria Wilson.
Good look right there. That'll stretch the defense a little bit. You continue to make those.
Lipscomb spins her way into the paint. Puts it up, no good. That's Jones charging the floor. To Bria Wilson. Finds Quiles.
Good pass.
Quiles slips it inside for Flythe, and they get her on the travel.
Yeah, she's a little impatient, actually, right there in the post. I mean, she had a nice bounce pass along the baseline side. I think she probably should have went right up along the baseline and kind of tried to bring it back to the middle and got caught in traffic.
McKiernan and Sath back into the game. Nelson takes a seat along with Terman.
Going back to the 1-2-2 again as well.
Sath, left corner 3. Off the mark. Rebound. Thomas puts it up, no good. And there to clean it up is Lipscomb. Very nice job on the offensive end by the Golden Rams.
And she leads the team in rebounding.
2-point game. It's the Golden Rams 20, Mohawk Valley Hawks 18. 6:30 to go here in the half. Quiles. Wilson fakes it, drives inside, and finds Jones, who puts it in. And we are all knotted up at 20.
Nice unselfish play right there.
It's Carell. Thought about a three. Lipscomb to Carell. That's McKiernan, and another block on the interior by Jones. Excellent job. Possession will stay with the Golden Rams.
Yeah, great recovery right there. The ability to block the shot without following.
That's to McKiernan. McKiernan floats it up.
That's a defensive breakdown right there. Coach Carpenter won't be happy with that one.
2-point lead here for the Golden Rams. 5:45 to go, opening half.
And back to man-to-man again. Sorry about that.
Back to that man-to-man defense. That three is no good by Wilson. It's going the other way. And that pass is intercepted by China Wilson. That was supposed to get to McKiernan, never got there. Khadijah Jones, left side three. Off the mark, loose ball. Rebound settled in by McKiernan. That's Thomas. Faked it, driving the baseline, up with the left hand, no good. Jones has it, and a travel is called.
Yeah, that's unfortunate right there. She tried to secure the rebound and tried to step around a defensive player, and just shuffled her feet.
Yeah, they get Khadijah Jones on the walk as McDaniel comes back into the game. Quiles will take a seat.
Man-to-man right here on the out-of-bounds play.
Carell inside for Lipscomb. Pump fake, spins her way, and she's called for a charge. Offensive foul, Mohawk Valley ball.
That's a nice defensive play right there by Jones.
We have immediate timeout, 4:56 to go. It's a 2-point lead for the Golden Rams. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV.
You tired of watching your favorite NJCAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the NJCAA and Blue Frame Technology.
Dan Budick, Steve Heights here from Mohawk Valley Community College for this third place game of the Division III Women's NJCAA Basketball Championships. And this was that block by Khadijah Jones. Nicely done there on the inside.
The one thing about good shot blockers is they wait till the ball gets released to block it.
That's what Jones did right there. It's a 2-point advantage here for the Golden Rams. That's Wilson, the near corner three, and she nails it. Bria Wilson. It's a 1-point lead now for the Hawks.
Nice set out of the timeout right there.
McKiernan for three. Off the mark. Rebound corralled by McDaniel.
Pretty good spacing for Anoka Ramsey there.
Long pass, tipped the other way, and Lindsay's got control of it.
They're not really playing with a post player right now. They've got 5 perimeter players. Kind of cutting freely through the lane.
Long two there by Carell, no good. Jones has got it. Flips it off to Bria Wilson. 3:50 to go. Opening half. A 1-point lead here for Mohawk Valley.
Same play as out of the timeout.
Jones inside. Spins. Fires. Got it. Khadijah Jones. Nicely done. It's a 3-point lead here for the Hawks.
It's a nice left-handed touch right there. You know, spins well to her right shoulder.
McKiernan gives it to Lindsay. Lindsay, the short jumper, off the mark. McDaniel's got the rebound.
Yeah, MV doing a nice job on now the defensive end of the boards.
Gianna Walker, long three.
Real deep.
Rattles out. Anoka Ramsey's got it. Tremont drives inside. Floater off the mark. Pass to Jones, and she can't corral it out of bounds. Maybe some miscommunication there on the passes.
She looks really tired there, though. She's holding her shorts, and I don't know if she's injured or just gassed.
Yeah, and they're going to pull her out as Quiles comes back in. And we mentioned the injury to Rogers earlier on in the first quarter, and then the injury to Clark yesterday. They're down two of their prolific players on offense and defense, so they're short as is. 2:56 to go in the opening half. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Dan Budick, Steve Heinz with you from the Jurgensen Center on the campus of Mohawk Valley Community College. 25-22 lead here for Mohawk Valley over the Anoka Ramsey Golden Rams. Timeout was called on the floor.
MV with a little 5-0 run in between the two breaks.
They've gone on a few nice runs here early on in the game to give themselves a 3-point edge. Thomas swings it to Carell. Thomas in the left wing. Terman to Thomas. Thomas driving the baseline. Up with the right hand and nicely done off the glass.
Good aggressive attack along the baseline. MV had a lot of defensive energy right there. That was a good possession until that last breakdown.
1-point lead here for Mohawk Valley. Bria Wilson slowing it down a little bit here for Mohawk Valley as we approach the final 2 minutes of this first half.
And not a lot of cutters right now for MV.
Quiles to McDaniel. McDaniel off the glass, and she tucks it in.
As soon as I say that, one comes cutting down the middle.
Of course, it's always like that.
Pass, yeah.
That pass almost tipped away by Quiles. Anoka Ramsey was able to hang on to it.
Both teams changing defenses quite a bit here.
Terman feeds it to Nelson with 5 to shoot. Can't get it to go. Rebound going the other way. Into the paint is Bria Wilson, who puts it up, and she's fouled by Carell. So Bria Wilson will head to the free throw line for a pair.
Yeah, she had a lot of energy on that break. That was a one-player break right there.
Bria Wilson at the line.
So Bria Wilson has a chance to add on here to the Mohawk Valley 3-point lead.
Yeah, that's really the kind of the first real transition opportunity that MV's had.
First one goes. (29-24) the score.
Again, change it back, going back to the 3-2 defense again.
Terman fed it to Thomas, who drove the baseline. A foul is called.
Number 23, Bria Wilson.
And they get Wilson on the foul, so Anoka Ramsey will hang on to possession. With a minute 17 to go in the half.
1-4 set from along the baseline.
And a violation on the inbounds. So unable to inbound it is Termon, and Mohawk Valley now has it.
Yeah, Emby did a nice job of that, defending the wings.
Wilson gives it off to Jones. Jones, the pump fake, now puts it inside and floats it in.
As you just said, great shot fake right there. Stayed low, got the defender to go high.
That shot can't go by Termon. Jones has got it. Under 50 seconds to go in the half. And they get Jones on the travel there as she was trying to find Bria Wilson.
I think, even though you don't want to have a turnover there, you got to like the energy created on the defensive end.
Just about a 17-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Under 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Nelson tried to drive it. Foul is called on Khadijah Jones.
Just a little over-aggressive on the closeout right there. I close out with your hands high, but control of your body.
Goes out of bounds. Will stay with Anoka Ramsey.
Tough place to inbound the ball right there in the corner.
See what they draw up this time on the inbound. That's Lipscomb. Lipscomb kicks it out to Nelson. Top of the key now. 3 is good by Thomas. 31-27 the score. 15 seconds to go.
That's a big basket right there for Anoka Ramsey.
Mohawk Valley will hold for the final shot here. Final 5 seconds. The 3, no good, and the rebound is corralled by Thomas, but that will send us into halftime. 31-27 the score. It's Mohawk Valley over the Anoka Ramsey Golden Rams. We'll be back to talk about it in a moment. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Dan Budick, Steve Heitz with you. We're at halftime, 31-27 the score. Mohawk Valley over Anoka Ramsey here in this consolation for third place. And then look at this three by Thomas. Relatively open, drains it from the top of the key. And that brought us our halftime score of 31-27. And we saw a lot of action on the rebounding side of things for the Mohawk Valley Hawks. Bria Wilson, 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, they've got 8 offensive rebounds in the first half. So if you're Coach Carpenter, you got to like that stat. Probably not as crazy about the 13 turnovers. And unfortunately, when you look at the points off turnovers, Anoka Ramsey's gotten 13 points off of MV's turnovers to only 3 for MV. So there's a 10-point swing right there. Take care of the basketball. You know, big thing, big change in the second half.
How do you limit coming out of halftime when you commit 13 in the first half? What are the types of things you think Coach Carpenter is telling his squad?
Well, a lot of it's just a focus, you know, because there was some, as you mentioned earlier in the first half, with some errant passes that, you know, maybe it's a little miscommunication or whatever the case may be. They have had a couple travels, you know, things like that. So it's more of just maybe focusing a little bit more. But again, you know, you want to take care of the basketball. You want to have offensive opportunities through shots. So they got to clean that up a little bit.
No Cheyenne Clark. She got hurt yesterday, and in the first quarter, Deonna Rogers rolled her ankle, it looked like, on our monitor. She hasn't played since. So those are 2 big players not in for the Hawks, but they still maintain the 4-point lead.
Yeah, they did a nice job coming out of 2 timeouts. They went on a 6-0 run and then a 5-0 run again. So, you know, they're making good adjustments in the timeouts. Again, I think the ability to take care of the basketball is going to play large to, you know, as far as how this game ends up. And MV did a better job of closing out on some of the Anoka Ramsey shooters, and you know, because Corral she was 3 for 4, you know, behind the arc, and she really got it going early for them. So, you know, I feel those are probably a couple things, you know, as both coaching staffs looking to make adjustments, looking at these numbers, trying to dissect them a little bit. But those are probably some things that are going to stand out quickly.
You mentioned Alyssa Corral. She was 3 of 4 from three-point range. Hit 3 early on in the game in the first quarter. Finished the quarter with 9 points, the leading scorer for the Anoka Ramsey Golden Rams. What are the types of adjustments you think the Rams are making in the locker room?
Well, I think one of the things that they've done a nice job of is changing defenses. They've gone from like a sagging man-to-man. They've played some 2-3. They did play 1 possession or 2 possessions of like a 3-2, really trying to not let MV get too comfortable offensively. And then, you know, because they didn't shoot the ball very well from 3-point range up until really the end of that half, second quarter, they were able to sag it in and try to really contest the inside game of MV. Mohawk Valley only 3 of 15 shooting behind the arc. So, you know, those are things that obviously you're going to challenge teams to shoot when they don't shoot it very well as a percentage. So we'll see if that changes at all.
We saw 6 lead changes in the first half, 5 ties at points in the first half. So this game pretty much back and forth so far.
And I think the largest margin was 7 prior to that 3 that Anoka Ramsey hit right before the half ended.
So relatively close, as we're just about 10 minutes away from the second half. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV.
You tired of watching your favorite NJCAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the NJCAA and Blue Frame Technology.
Back here at the Jurgensen Center on the campus of Mohawk Valley Community College, Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz, as it's a 31-27 lead for the Mohawk Valley Hawks over the Anoka Ramsey Golden Rams. We're just about 7 or 8 minutes away from the second half in this consolation for third place in the NJCAA Division III Women's Basketball Tournament. Steve, now I got to ask you, for Anoka Ramsey, what are some keys to the second half to win this game?
Well, I think offensively, you want to continue to move the basketball. They've done a pretty good job of getting some people some good looks on the perimeter. And then the Lipscomb girl has done a pretty nice job of attacking inside. So I think when they make shots offensively, it's going to create open space inside. They're not real big, and they're limited to what they have as far as personnel there. There's only 3 subs, so that could play large. But I think offensively, the ball movement is big. Defensively, to keep changing defenses to try to keep MV as uncomfortable as possible. And then they got to take care of the glass a little bit. MV's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds. They've got 8 offensive rebounds. They haven't necessarily turned them into points, but you don't want to live on that edge if you're Anoka Ramsey.
You talked about coaching with a short bench. Both teams, a couple injuries for Mohawk Valley. Anoka Ramsey, a short roster. What, as a coach, how difficult is it to manage that when you're really short bodies?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is. You only have what's available, and they had 4 girls play over 16 minutes in that half. So that's a lot of minutes. They're in good condition. I mean, obviously it's at the end of the year, but you're playing back-to-back nights. So that always takes into effect.
3 nights in a row.
3 nights in a row. So that takes a lot into effect. We'll see if any of that has any lingering effect in the second half and as the game closes. MV, they had 3 players play 15 minutes or more, so they've got a little bit more liberty to kind of at their disposal as far as bench players. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then obviously, depending on what the score is in the situation at the end of the game, the adrenaline's going to kick in and kids aren't going to want to come off the floor.
Second half coming up. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Back here at Mohawk Valley Community College, Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz for this third-place matchup in this Division III Women's NJCAA Basketball Championship. And you can see right now here on the campus of Mohawk Valley Community College is a lot of snow fell over the last week or so here in upstate New York, really all over the Northeast. And a beautiful facility here at Mohawk Valley hosting this tournament.
Doesn't look like spring out there to me.
No, not yet, and spring's supposed to start this week.
Yeah, it looks a lot more like January.
Yep, we're just about a couple of minutes away from the second half. 31-27 lead for the host Mohawk Valley Hawks, playing their final game of the season. Both these teams playing their final game of the season. As you can see, the Hall of Champions here at Mohawk Valley Community College, the fitness center, a beautiful facility redone about 5 or 6 years ago. As we return here to the Jurgensen Center, 31-27 the score. And it should be an exciting second half. Both these teams still playing for a lot. Third place on the line here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're in that game, and even though it's not the championship game that you were hoping for, to finish third in the country, still a pretty nice honor. So you'd much rather finish third than fourth.
We saw during halftime Deonna Rogers kind of walking off on crutches. Doesn't look like she's going to return for this game. That's two big bodies in Clark and Rogers that won't be available. Clark obviously wasn't available. She got hurt yesterday, and now Rogers with the injury and makes that bench even shorter now for the Hawks in the final 20 minutes of this one. Yeah,
and she was playing well early on there. She had a couple of high-low passes, and she's doing a nice job.
Yeah, she had 18 points yesterday. A big body, and they were relying on her a lot coming into today, considering the fact that Clark wasn't there, but they'll have to do without her as we are about set here for the second half, as Lindsay will get set to inbound.
Pretty clean game, too. I think it was well officiated. Did a nice job.
Ten minutes thrown on the clock. Shot clock reset to 30 seconds. We are ready to go for the third quarter.
MV starts off in a 3-2 again. Little matchup principles, though.
That's Thomas driving the baseline. She kicks it for Lindsay. Lindsay, the short jumper. No, not there. Lipscomb the rebound. Can't put it in, and Jackson picks it up. Pushing the floor the other way, that's China Wilson. Wilson back to Jones. Jones thought about a shot, driving inside, puts up the floater, and gets it to go.
Nice little runner, left-handed. She's got a soft touch.
Quickly, that's Tremont. Thought about a shot, kicks it inside for Lipscomb, who finishes it off the glass. 33-29 the score.
Good unselfish pass right there.
Jones controls it, now gives it off to Bria Wilson.
Man-to-man coming out second half for Renoka Ramsey. And Jones wants the ball on the wing.
And they get it to her. Thought about driving inside, puts up the jumper, and it goes in. Nice shot there by Khadijah Jones.
Yeah, nice little step back, and she's got a couple inches over her defender. Pretty easy attempt to shoot over her.
They try to get it to Thomas. Going the other way now. It's Wilson into the paint, up with the right hand, and gets it to fall. China Wilson.
A lot of energy from MV right now to start this third quarter.
And a whistle is blown, and we have a timeout for Anoka Ramsey. 8:30 to go in the third quarter. 37-29 the score. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Dan Budick, Steve Heitz with you from Mohawk Valley Community College, the Jurgensen Center, NJCAA TV for this NJCAA Basketball Championship. 37-29 the score. 8:30 to go here in the third as there was a timeout taken by Anoka Ramsey.
Yeah, Anoka Ramsey head coach, Coach DeWitt, not too happy with the way his young ladies came out of the locker room in the third quarter to start that 6-2 run for MV, and just that was not real good defensive transition on that last steal, and yeah, he was not too pleased with that.
Coach DeWitt in his 10th season. He's won this tournament twice, in 2007 and 2011. They've been to this tournament 5 times in 6 years, so an experienced coach being in this tournament, and his team coming from Minnesota. That's Thomas, the jumper, off the mark. Jones grabs the rebound. She falls down, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll switch over to Anoka Ramsey.
Yeah, a little inadvertent contact there, and ball bounced off her leg. These ladies look outside, they're going to feel like they're in Minnesota with all that snow.
No joke. Driving it into the paint, up with the right hand, no good is Terman. Lipstone keeps it alive, puts it up, blocked by Khadijah Jones. That's her 3rd block of the game.
She's very active there defensively.
And China Wilson loses it. That's Carell going the other way. And a blocking foul called on China Wilson.
Just a little lackadaisical with the ball out front for MV, and turns into a offensive possession for Anoka Ramsey. A couple free throws here.
A couple of free throws here by Carell. Hits the first one. 7-point game now. 7:56 to go in the third quarter. Second free throw. Gets it to kiss off the glass. 37-31 the score.
Anoka Ramsey setting up a little full court pressure here.
As Carell takes a step out, she'll take a seat. She's got 11 points here so far in this one. Top of the key, back for China Wilson. Guarded by Thomas. That's a long three, drained by Gianna Locker. Her first points of this half.
Good unselfish play by Jones to kick that ball out. The largest leads of the game right now at 9.
Driving it inside is Lipscomb. She absorbs some contact, no whistle, and puts it in. 40-33 the score.
Good patience.
As that ball is taken away on the inbounds, Anoka Ramsey's got it back. Terman, the short jumper, and gets it to fall. So 4 quick points here by Anoka Ramsey, and all of a sudden, it's back to a 5-point game.
A lot more energy as well.
That pass almost lost, but Bria Wilson gets back to it in a hurry, keeps it alive for the Hawks. Back to Wilson. Wilson tried to get it to Jones. A foul is called on the floor. That one will be against Thomas.
14, Rashawn Thomas.
Yeah, Bria Wilson almost made a great pass right there. The pass actually got through, but the foul before.
Sath comes out. That inbounds to Tiffany Jackson, who spins her way and puts it up with the right hand. Nice job by Jackson.
Yeah, real nice turnaround jump shot there.
And that's Terman drives in. She pulls up, takes a jumper.
Someone's got to stop the ball, step up for MV there.
Mohawk Valley had numbers coming the other way. As Khadijah Jones will slow things down a bit. 6:27 to go. Third quarter, 42-37 the score. Mohawk Valley leading here on their home court.
10 on the shot clock.
Now down to 7 on the shot clock. Inside for Jones. Jones absorbs some contact, puts it up. Goes out of bounds.
A little short. Left it a little short there.
Just a little, not too much on it there. As we'll get McDaniel back into the game.
She had a little fadeaway, so she was falling away from the basket there.
Tough shot. That's Carell, finds Lindsay. Lindsay along the baseline takes a jumper. Termon keeps it alive, hands it to Lipscomb.
Nice pass.
And Lipscomb puts it in. Really nicely done on the offensive end by the Golden Rams.
And Anoka Ramsey being a little bit more aggressive going to the glass right there.
Bria Wilson driving. Back to her on the left wing. Khadijah Jones thought about a pass, drives it. Puts it up and in, but an offensive foul. A charge is called. We've seen that a couple times so far today, and Khadijah Jones is nicked on the charge, so it's a turnover. Anoka Ramsey's got possession.
Yeah, it was a nice step in right there.
And some confusion whether that basket was good. It was an offensive foul, so that basket does not count.
And that's her third foul, I believe.
That is her third foul, so a little bit of foul trouble here as China Wilson will take a seat. Khadijah Jones, though, will stay on. To Lindsay. Lindsay tried to get it into Lipscomb.
Oh, no, it's going to get her on her fourth, I believe, right there.
And, yeah, that's going to be her fourth foul. She's going to have to take a seat. And that is not good for Mohawk Valley.
Number 15, Bria Wilson.
Oh, no, they called it on Wilson, actually.
Oh, they called it on Wilson.
Yeah. I think she surprised her. She was walking
Yeah,
off
she
the
thought
floor.
that foul was against her, and so did we. So a break there for Mohawk Valley. Inbounds to Thomas. Thomas puts up the three. No good. And that foul is going to be registered to Tiffany Jackson. McKiernan comes back in. Lipscomb will take a seat.
Yeah, I think they called that on her. That looks like that's her third foul.
Wilson trying to drive her way into the paint. Now kicks it back out. Settles to the top of the key for Jones. Jones into the left wing. Puts up a three. Goes off the back iron. No good.
Good defensive possession by Anoka Ramsey.
Thomas to Lindsay. To Termon. Drives it. Puts it up. Another block. There for Jones. Now back to Lindsay, who puts up a three. Pardon me, that was Thomas who put up a three. No good as it trickles out of bounds. Mohawk Valley's got possession.
Khadijah Jones all over with the blocks there.
And we have a timeout on the floor. 4:50 to go. Third quarter, 42-39 in favor of the host, Mohawk Valley Hawks. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. .450 to go, third quarter here. 42-39 the score. Mohawk Valley leading Anoka Ramsey, and this was that steal taken away by Termon. Very nicely done before here in the third, and she was able to turn it into points. It was a 4-0 run at the time for the Anoka Ramsey Golden Rams. As we come out of the timeout, Dan Budick, Steve Height with you from the Jurgensen Center on the campus of Mohawk Valley Community College.
And another three-quarter court pressure here for Anoka Ramsey out of the timeout.
Yep, coming out of the timeout, some pressure coming from Anoka Ramsey.
1-2-1-1.
They get it across the midcourt line to Jones. That's Locker now settling in the left wing. She takes a deep three. Does not go, but it's kept alive by Tiffany Jackson.
Good hustle.
Jackson finds Jones. Jones picks it back. It's back to the top of the key for Locker. Locker loses possession of it, and Thomas gets a steal. It's loose on the floor. Still loose on the floor, and they'll finally say jump ball. Wow, some aggressiveness there by Mohawk Valley, keeping possession and forcing that jump ball. It looked like possession was definitely in the hands of Thomas all the way.
Yeah, you like the fact that they're getting on the floor for the loose balls. A new shot clock with that.
Lily McDaniel to inbound. That's Jackson. Looking for some space. Jackson puts up the jump shot and gets it to fall from the left block. Nicely done. Nice move there by Tiffany Jackson.
Oh, up and under Tiffany Jackson.
Thomas trying to get it to McKiernan. Turnover going the other way.
Nice deflection by Locker from behind.
3:50 to go, third quarter. McDaniel. Long three by Locker. Can't get it to go, and Lindsay's got the rebound.
Coach Carpenter pleading for his team, so that's some energy.
Thomas. And a block there by Jackson. No foul called. Anoka Ramsey keeps possession. It's back to Thomas. Now settling into Lindsay. 10 on the shot clock. Loose ball. But Lindsay's got it. That Sath puts up the three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Going the other way.
No backcourt balance at all.
Easy lay in there by Bria Wilson.
Yeah, that's a breakdown on the Anoka Ramsey's guards. They all got caught standing watching.
To Carell. Carell, the left corner three, no good. McKiernan, no, fights for the rebound, gets it, and luffs it in. Nice job by McKiernan there, cleaning it up off the glass.
Yeah, nice body control. MD being a little bit more deliberate offensively these last couple possessions. Taking the shot clock down under 10.
Now the shot clock at 8. Inside for Jackson. Jackson turns her body, puts it in. She's got the bucket and the foul, and she'll go to the line to complete, or try to complete the three-point opportunity.
That was a great catch. I mean, great move, but that was an awesome catch. And that was in traffic between two defenders.
Tiffany Jackson, who's getting much more minutes than she's gotten over the last couple days due to the injuries to both Clark and Rogers, taking advantage of the opportunity.
And she's responded well in this third quarter.
2:23 to go here in the third. Jackson's free throw's good. 49-41 the score. Some substitutions here as Jackson will take a seat. China Wilson back into the game. Megan Nelson will also come into the game for the Golden Rams.
Those are big minutes by her. 7 points in that quarter. MB's really flying out on the shooters, trying to run them off the three-point line.
Lindsay thought about driving the baseline, kicks it out to Nelson, and Nelson's blocked. Once again, a block by Jones. Now it's McDaniel going the other way. She throws it up. There's contact, no call. Lipscomb settles with it for Anoka Ramsey.
Good closeout.
To Lipscomb. To Thomas for Trey, no good. That's Jones now on the left side. Jones steps her way into the paint.
That's going to be her fourth.
And they say an offensive foul against Khadijah Jones. And you're right, that is her fourth. And 5 puts her on the bench, so she will take a seat as Tiffany Jackson quickly comes back into the game.
Yeah, she'll look at this last minute 33, the rest. But that was kind of a predetermined move she made there, you know, as opposed to reading the defense.
And one more foul here for Mohawk Valley, and that will put them at 5, which is the bonus. Lindsay, back to Thomas. Moves her way in the paint. That's Lipscomb who puts it in off the glass.
Yeah, and with Jones on the bench, they went right inside, attack him inside. MV considerably smaller right now.
Just over a minute to go in the third. That lay-in no good by McDaniel, and the rebound's corralled. Under a minute to go. 3 by Lindsay. No good. Bria Wilson's going the other way. Mohawk Valley driving their way into the paint. Bria Wilson up with the left hand, and Lipscomb grabs the rebound.
Oh, no, it's...
Terman walks her way into the paint, unguarded almost. and sinks it in off the glass.
Yeah, you got to have better defensive pressure there. I know you don't want to leave shooters, but you just can't get like straight line dribbles.
25 seconds to go, about a 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Tiffany Jackson powers her way into the paint, throws it up. Nothing's there. Mohawk Valley keeping possession. McDaniel to Jackson, no good. Gets her, trying to fight for her own rebound. And it's grabbed by Lipscomb, and they foul her, so that will send her to the line to shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, nice pass, nice catch, just didn't finish it. And you foul 90 feet away from the basket, that never helps.
Just over 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz as we have this third-place game in this Division III Women's NJCAA basketball tournament. First one off by Lipscomb.
See if they can make this and set up any pressure that they might want to apply in the last 12 seconds.
Lipscomb's off on the second one. Rebound Jackson. 7 seconds to go. McDaniel throws it to Wilson. Wilson fires up a 3 and drains it at the buzzer. Bria Wilson will send us into the fourth quarter. 52-45 the score. A lead here for Mohawk Valley. Stay with us. The fourth quarter's upcoming. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championship on NJCAA TV. (52-45) the score. Dan Budick alongside Steve Heitz with you from Mohawk Valley Community College as we get set for the fourth quarter. And that's that 3 at the buzzer by Bria Wilson. Beautiful.
Yeah, good awareness on the clock. Big basket for them because Winoka Ramsey had a little momentum to close out that quarter.
52-45 the score. One more quarter to go, and then we have our championship game coming up at 7 p.m. It's Roxbury and Rock Valley to see who will be our Division III Women's NJCAA National Champions. Stay with us for that one.
Right now, you've got, as you mentioned earlier, this is the third game in 3 days. Both teams are tired, but you get a long time to rest after this.
That's right.
So you're going to try to close this out the best you can. Deja Jones still on the bench to start this quarter.
Lipscomb kicks it out to Correll. Correll the corner 3 off the mark, and Wilson grabs the rebound. McDaniel coming the other way will slow it down a bit. Settles it back to Bria Wilson. Wilson tried to get it looked like to McDaniel, but some miscommunication. We saw it in the first quarter. An errant pass goes out of bounds.
Yeah, just not ready for that one right there. Did a nice job, though. Wilson just dribble penetrating, drew the slide, and tried to drop it off, but teammate not ready for that.
Thomas kicks it inside to Lipscomb. Back to Lindsay. Lindsay puts up the jumper, no good. She gets her own rebound, though, puts it up, no good, and gets her own rebound again. Kicks it to Thomas for 3, and she's got the 3 from the right wing. Rashana Thomas to make this a 52-48 ball game.
You see that so many times. Missed field goals in the lane all of a sudden turn into 3-point attempts. And, they did a nice job of kicking it out to the open shooter.
That's Jackson inside. She'll take the jumper. Goes off the front of the rim, no good.
Ramsey looking to run.
And that's Terman who gets the friendly roll to go in. 2-point game.
Coach Carpenter's got Jones off the bench, ready to check in.
And Wilson was driving the baseline. I believe they said she stepped out of bounds. And now we'll see Khadijah Jones. And remember, she has 4 fouls. One more, and she's going to have to take a seat for the rest of the game. 8 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this one. A 52-50 lead for the Mohawk Valley Hawks. Jackson to Quiles. Settles back to the left wing for Wilson. Wilson inside for Jackson. She can't get it to fall. Lipscomb's got it going the other way. Thomas creating some space, puts up a 3, no good.
Pretty good look. Nice shot fake.
Jones to Wilson. Back to Jones.
She's got to be patient offensively. There's that high-low.
To Bria Wilson, corner 3, and she's got it. Bria Wilson, she hit that big 3 to send us into the fourth quarter. And she hits a big one here in the fourth quarter with about 7:40 to go.
That's really good offense right there. Good patience. They went high-low, got it inside, and kicked it out.
Jumper gets it to fall through for Terman. 55-52.
Both teams executing their half-court offense pretty well.
Jones at the free throw line, driving inside, puts it up no good, gets her own rebound and follows it through and gets it to go.
That's a really nice job of getting the offense rebound, keeping it high and going right back up with it.
Lindsay to Lipscomb, to Thomas. Thomas throws up a 3 and she's got it from the right wing, Rashana Thomas, and we have a 2-point game again.
Yeah, she's starting to get pretty comfortable on the perimeter there. A little surprised that Lipscomb didn't try to draw Jones's 5th foul there. She had her in a one-on-one matchup.
That 3 brings Thomas's point total to 13 on the night. Tiffany Jackson, and a foul is called against Amanda Lindsay.
Deal inbound the ball on the baseline here.
Yeah, for Lindsay, that's her second. Also, the team's second. Some subs as we'll see McDaniel come back into the game, China Wilson into the game. And on the other side, we'll see Carell take a seat, and Leia Sath is back into the game for the Golden Rams.
Here comes a double team.
Double team, she kicks it back to the top of the key. Wiles, back to Jones. Jones, jumper, no good.
Nice rebound.
And Lipscomb tried to get it to Thomas, poked away by China Wilson. She's got it for Mohawk Valley. And it's a foul from behind on Rashana Thomas.
Yeah,
That's her second.
Nice defensive pressure by Wilson to chase that ball down from behind. Lipscomb had no clue that she was coming from behind there. Good hustle play.
Another sub, McKiernan coming into the game. Lipscomb will take a seat. Lipscomb's got 3 fouls.
She's logged a lot of minutes.
The throw into Jones. Jones powering her way into the paint, puts it up and in. Nice job.
That's a mismatch right there.
Under 5:50 to go. Throws cross-court pass for Lindsay. And it's thrown out of bounds. And it goes last touch by Terman. So nice job there. Really good execution by Mohawk Valley.
Alert play there, yeah. Alert play. Milka Ramsey picking up full court pressure.
China Wilson past the midcourt line. Wilson driving the baseline. She's up and gets the roll. Nice.
Good aggressive take there along the baseline.
Terman puts it up. She gets the runner to go. 61-57.
She's made a couple of nice plays there. Terman is getting into the middle of the lane.
Just over 5 minutes to go. Our third place game here on NJCAA TV. Dan Budick, Steve Heitz with you. Bria Wilson into the paint. She gives it off to Wilson. Wilson off the glass beautifully.
Yeah, great pass by Wilson, but really, great catch by Wilson.
Correll, the jumper, no good. Jones got it the other way. Jones powering her way into the paint. She's got no one ahead of her. Up with the left hand and can't get it to fall.
She just lost control of the dribble at about the foul line.
McKiernan throws it up. Air ball, no good. McDaniel charging her way to the front court.
And Bria Wilson slowing it down.
6-point lead here for Mohawk Valley.
It'll clear out.
Wilson puts it up. Can't get it to go, but she's fouled and will go to the free throw line. I believe they'll tick that foul against Amanda Lindsay.
I think they might call it offensive foul, I believe.
Oh, an offensive foul.
I believe they may call that offensive foul.
Okay, an offensive foul against Bria Wilson. 4:05 to go, fourth quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV.
You tired of watching your favorite NJCAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the NJCAA and Blue Frame Technology.
(63-57) the score, 4:05 to go. Dan Budick, Steve Heitz with you from Mohawk Valley Community College. Both these teams battling for third place. The loser will take fourth place in this tournament.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes will be interesting to see what happens, and as foul trouble starting to plague both teams a little bit here. Both teams still a little ways away before we get to the bonuses in the quarter. Anoka Ramsey does have 3 team fouls. MB with only 1 right now.
As it'll be Lindsay on the inbound.
And that last foul did go against Bria Wilson.
Yep, went against Bria Wilson, so it's an Anoka Ramsey ball here. And a travel called against Terman. So Mohawk Valley will get it right back.
You don't want to have wasted trips in the last couple minutes of the game here.
Bria Wilson will slow it down now. 3:45 to go.
Again, same play there, a little clear out.
Clears out. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Tiffany Jackson puts it up. No good. McDaniel got it. New shot clock. A 3 by Bria Wilson, and she drains it from the left wing.
Well, that's a great shot, but you got to credit McDaniel with the hustle play to chase down the long rebound.
Nine-point game now. Terman inside, puts it up, a block. Not sure who registered it. As it's back. Missed shot there by Terman on the offensive rebound. It goes out of bounds, and they say last touched, I believe, by Mohawk Valley, China Wilson. And they will say that, so Anoka Ramsey will have possession here with 3 minutes even to go in the game.
And Khadija Jones checking back in.
So Lipscomb, 2 to shoot. Lindsay off the mark. And they'll say shot clock violation. She didn't get it off in time.
Anoka Ramsey going to extend the pressure again. Little 1-2-2.
We're now under 3 minutes to go here on NJCAA TV. We thank you for joining us. Khadijah Jones.
Good patience.
Thought about driving it in. Now we'll kick it back out to Bria Wilson. Wilson back to Jackson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson tosses it for Jones. Jones. Again, it's Bria Wilson for three, and she hits it in the nick of time as the shot clock was running down.
Back-to-back threes.
And now it's a 12-point game with 2:24 to go.
I believe MV's going to get the ball back as well. I think they got a foul.
So the basket counted, and there's a foul against Anoka Ramsey, so Mohawk Valley a chance to put up more points here.
Sure, that's a big play right there.
Huge play late in this game. Again, it's Bria Wilson.
Same spot. I thought she was going to shoot it.
Wilson the pass to McDaniel. A foul is called against Herman. Yeah, it looked like there Wilson was going to take that shot. Same spot she hit the last couple.
Yeah. That's the 15th foul, so that's going to send them to the line.
Yep, it'll send them to the line. It's McDaniel this time. McDaniel only 2 points today. McDaniel really hasn't played much this season, but with a couple of injuries, she's getting more playing time here in this consolation matchup.
And I'll tell you what, when Coach Carpenter looks, if they go on to win this game, looks at that stat sheet, he's going to see one big offensive rebound by this young lady, loomed large, turned it right into a three-point attempt and a basket.
Second free throw upcoming. She's got both of them. 71-59 the score. Under 2:20 to go now in the game. Herman into the paint. Throws it up with the right hand. No good. And Khadijah Jones has got it. And she's called for the double dribble.
Oh, got stuck on her hip.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times with a couple of Mohawk Valley players today. And a foul is called. They'll get McDaniel on the foul. Possession will stay with Anoka Ramsey. 71-57 the score. Just over 2 minutes to go in this consolation final. Another turnover on the inbounds. Goes out of bounds. Last touched by Anoka Ramsey. So that's Jones on the inbound. Tried to give it to Jackson, tipped away, regained possession by Jones. Jones steps her ways into the paint and puts it in off the glass.
Nice job to avoid the charge right there. Soft kiss off the glass.
Herman gives it to Thomas. Thomas, the right wing three, and she drains it. Rashana Thomas.
Coach Carpenter for MB calling a timeout there.
And Mohawk Valley will take a timeout, leading by 13. Minute 24 to go. We'll be back. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championships on NJCAA TV. Minute 24 seconds to go. Here from Mohawk Valley Community College, Dan Budick, Steve Heitz with you. 73-60 the score. It's the host team, Mohawk Valley, in the lead, and they had hopes of winning this championship on their home floor. Couldn't do it. Lost yesterday. But They have a chance to venge themselves. They're a minute and 24 seconds away from doing so.
Yeah, they've done a nice job in the second half offensively, really executing their half-court offense to perfection, getting some good high-lows, some kickouts into open threes that they've converted that they didn't convert in the first half. Right now, Renoka Ramsey, finds themselves down 13. They need to try to create as many possessions as they can in the next 124. So I'm assuming if you don't get a quick trap or steal, they'll look to foul right away.
Yeah, we're in that point of the game where you got to start to foul. Time is not on your side if you're the Golden Rams.
Yeah, you need to extend the game as much as you can right now.
Inbounds, controlled by Wilson. The Hawks taking their time here. No fouls yet for Renoka Ramsey. That's to Jackson. Jackson off the glass, no good. Thomas has got the rebound.
Good execution, just didn't finish it there. Under a minute to go. Renoka Ramsey has to go quickly.
Sath throws up the three, and she's got it from the right wing. And we have a timeout for Renoka Ramsey. It's a 10-point game, under a minute to go. We'll be back with the final minute, 54 seconds or so of play. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championship on NJCAA television. (73-63) the score. It's a 10-point game. 54.5 seconds to go. Dan Budick with Steve Heitz here from Mohawk Valley Community College, the Jurgensen Center, for this Division III NJCAA National Championship consolation final for third place is on the line here. Stay with us. At the top of the hour, we will have the final game, the championship game between Rock Valley and Roxbury. Should be a great matchup for the NJCAA Division III Women's Basketball Championship. But we're still 54.5 seconds away from that, a 10-point lead here from Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, and Coach Carpenter extended that timeout with a timeout of his own just to make sure that his team is well aware of what they want to try to execute right here, both offensively and defensively. That last possession where Renoka Ramsey got that uncontested three, I seen that look on the coaches a lot of times. He had his hands to his head like, how are we having a breakdown and losing shooters right now?
The inbound will be tossed up to Jones. Nicely done off the glass. Wow, perfect execution there by Mohawk Valley.
A real nice job by Jones to seal her player off.
That one for Nelson, no good. Cleaned up and put in by Lipscomb.
Another timeout.
And another timeout, 44.5 seconds to go. We'll be back. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championship on NJCAA TV. .5 seconds to go. 10-point lead here for Mohawk Valley. And all teams at the NJCAA Basketball Championship scouted their opponents using technology by Crossover Intelligence. Coaches, take your scouting to the next level thanks to the innovation and expertise from the professionals at Crossover. Crossover Intelligence. Get your brain game on. So, coming out of the timeout here, Mohawk Valley's got possession.
She can run the baseline if she chooses here.
Got to get it over the midcourt line. They finally do to McDaniel. 32 seconds to go. 17 seconds on the shot clock, and finally we get a foul. And they came very close to not getting that over the midcourt line.
Yeah, they did. An alert play by Jones at the end. And she, you know, as tall as she has the ability to throw over smaller defenders, which really helped her right there.
That'll be Walker. She's got the first one.
Envy's made some free throws down the stretch in the last 2 minutes, which is big.
And they hit both of their free throws here to make this a 12-point game with just over 30 seconds to go. Terman driving into the paint. She's fouled. Looks like they'll nick Tiffany Jackson on that one.
And that's a foul to give, though, so that's not a bad play.
You're right, not a bad play at all, as they still have 2 more to give. Looking to get it to Lipscomb. It's taken away by China Wilson. And they'll say jump ball as a fight for it between China Wilson and Leah Sath.
Coach Carpenter telling her, try not to put the ball over your head, just a little too easy to tie you up there.
And that's exactly what happened. Bria Wilson on the inbound. Just under 15 seconds to go. Flips it inside for Jones. Jones can't connect on the lay-in.
And there's that last foul.
And they'll give that foul. That'll be tacked to Locker. So the next foul by Mohawk Valley will send Anoka Ramsey to the free throw line. Terman throws it up. Can't get it. Nice rebound there by Jones, and the final seconds will ring out. And we have gone final here, 77-65, a win for Mohawk Valley. They finish in 3rd place. Our 4th place is Anoka Ramsey, the Golden Rams. 1st and 2nd place, that's yet to be seen. Our final matchup for the national title coming up at 7 p.m. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championship on NJCAA TV.
Tired of watching your favorite NJCAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the NJCAA and Blue Frame Technology.
Final score here, Mohawk Valley 77, Anoka Ramsey 65. As it's Mohawk Valley who finishes in 3rd place in the tournament. Anoka Ramsey will finish in 4th place, and a lot of scoring was done on both sides of the ball in this one.
Yeah, definitely. Katia Jones ending up with 26, and Bria Wilson with 22. She played really well, especially down the stretch, hitting some big threes and really taking care of the basketball as well. One of the things that we talked about at halftime with what Coach Carpenter might be addressing was the amount of turnovers. They had 13 turnovers at halftime, only ended the game with 20. So they cut those basically in half for only 7 turnovers in the second half. That plays large, so now you have more chances to score, more opportunities. They were pretty good offensively in their execution as well.
And it was Mohawk Valley who controlled the game in the second half. We didn't see any lead changes in the second half. It was all Mohawk Valley. And the final score, once again, 77-65. And on the other side of things, in a losing effort, Termont had 17 points. Thomas, 16 points. She was 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. And Carell was 3 of 6 with 11 points. And Lipscomb, 14 points, 7 rebounds. Those were the leaders in a losing effort for the Golden Rams.
And they have nothing to be ashamed of. I know you'd love to win this game, obviously, but finishing 4th in the country isn't bad either. A lot of teams were watching this.
Absolutely. Once again, the final score, the Mohawk Valley Hawks 77, the Anoka Ramsey Golden Rams 65. We got one more game for you. It's for the national title. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. Stick with us. You're watching the NJCAA Basketball Championship on NJCAA TV.
Tired of watching your favorite NJCAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the NJCAA and Blue Frame Technology.